Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to read a book today called If You Hopped Like a Frog. I remember one time, a few years back, we had a theme of frogs in the class that I was teaching. And so there were lots of frogs decorating, and we even had like a frog that we brought in that was our class pet for a while. So this one is called If You Hopped Like a Frog. It's by David M. Schwartz, and I'll try to show you the pictures too up a little bit closer as we get going. If you hopped like a frog. You could jump from home plate to first base in one mighty leap. If you were as strong as an ant, you could lift a car. If you had the brain of a brachiosaurus, your brain would be smaller than a pea. If you swallowed like a snake, you could gulp a hot dog thicker than a telephone pole. If you ate like a shrew, you could devour over 700 hamburgers in a day. If you high jumped like a flea, you could land on Lady Liberty's torch. Does that look familiar to you guys? If you flicked your tongue like a chameleon, you could whip the food off your plate without using your hands. But what would your mother say? If you craned your neck like a crane, you'd have to stretch your arm way up to scratch your head. If you had eagle eyes, you could spot a running rabbit from high in the clouds. If you dined like a pelican, you could slurp a triple root beer float in one mouthful. If you grew as fast in your first 9 months as you did in the 9 months before you were born, you would have been a towering tot, taller than the mountaintops and heavier than 2.5 million elephants. If you scurried like a spider, you could charge down an entire football field in just 2 seconds. If you hugged like a bear, wait a minute, you already do. This is such a fun book. It is called If You Hopped Like a Frog. And there are all kinds of really cool facts in this book about frogs and ants and snakes and shrews and all the things that we talked about. And it gives you some real life facts. I'm not going to read all of them right now, but one real life fact I wanted to tell you about a frog is they are champion jumpers. A 3-inch frog can hop 60 inches. 60 inches. You know what's something fun that you can do? You can see if mom or dad has a ruler and you could measure out how far 60 inches is. You can take it into your backyard and you can mark it at the 1. And now one ruler is going to usually be about 12 inches long. Okay. So think about that. How many rulers would I have to use to make 60? That's a good thing for you to figure out, but you can mark it where it starts and where it ends, and then pick up the ruler and start it again, And maybe market would be a good day today to go out and do that somewhere in your backyard, or you could even use sidewalk chalk on the sidewalk in front of your house and figure out how far is 60 inches. And then imagine a frog hopping, just a little itty bitty frog, 60 inches. And that means the frog is jumping 20 times its body length. Wow, that's amazing. So that would be a fun thing for you to do today, as you're listening to this story and after you finish it, to go out and maybe get some sidewalk chalk and see how far is 60 inches. And that would be a fun book that you could order even online or something if you want to read some more fun facts about some of those animals we mentioned.